Happy Wednesday, everybody. Good morning. Welcome to my channel. Let's look at pre-market update. We'll start with Bitcoin. We'll review all the other indices, S&P 500, Nasdaq, Dow Jones, Russell. We'll review all the major FANG stocks, and at the end we'll wrap up with commodities. Please hit the like button, guys. Only takes 1 second to hit the like button. I will really appreciate that. Okay, so we'll start with crypto. So Bitcoin, you can see in front of this massive resistance. This is daily chart, live market here. Resistance here, resistance, 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 and now we are again trying to go back. Now there is a change in trend. You can see this low here, which happened on 5th of August, is lower than this low here. So let's see. Now it put another low. So if it can break above here, let me hide this EMA line so it's a bit clear to you what I'm trying to tell you. Okay, so you can see if it close above this low high here around 62,713, that's going to be another change in trend. So in order for Bitcoin to be bullish, so it's made a high, you can see a low here, and now if this high is going to be higher than this previous high around 62,300, then it's going to be a change in trend in smaller time frame, and then Bitcoin can start developing this next bullish momentum. All right. Now, other thing is you need to keep an eye on this PPO. You can see good news for the bulls. You can see what's going on here just right now as we are talking. Green line is above red line. This is what you want to see if you're a Bitcoin bull. You can see what happened here. So let me like show you how much it pumped last time this thing happened. You can see here when the crossover happened somewhere around here, Bitcoin pumped from low to the high around 23-24%. All right. Same thing here as well. When the crossover happened, Bitcoin pumped from here to the top around 20%. All right, so same thing can happen again here. So just keep that in mind because we have a crossover now. I'm starting to become more bullish on Bitcoin because a crossover this, but it has to close today, and then this crossover daily candle close will be very bullish for Bitcoin. And if I look at CME futures, if I go to 1 hour chart, uh, I don't see any gaps. There was a gap down here on Sunday, and then they filled this gap, and now there are no gaps. So that's good news. You can see all these gaps are filled. So if I go back to daily chart, we can see there are no gaps at the top. So, but there are these minor gaps. They don't need to fill now. They are there because they will be filled maybe in the next bear market. So this is more for your info, so that you know that there is possibility for Bitcoin to go that low, but we don't know when that's going to happen. For now, like I said, in the live market, we want to see a change in trend. If Bitcoin closes above 62K, that's going to be very, very nice. Now, on the other side, on the flip side, if bears want to take control, they really need to take control right now because right now it's right before it's about to change trend. And let me bring on EMA lines. You can see here it's right in front of multiple EMA lines. These are 50 EMA, daily EMA, SMA, 20 moving average, and also this dark blue line is 200 SMA as well. So it's in front of multiple EMA lines. It's not going to be easy to break out. So we'll see how Bitcoin behaves here. On Ethereum, it's a bit weaker than Bitcoin, and you can see again change in trend. Again, it needs to develop a trend, high, lower high, go higher. Actually, on the somewhat smaller time frame, Ethereum does look like it made a change. So you can see low was made, high, and then you can see higher low and now higher high. So Ethereum is trying to do all it can to change the trend, but again, all depends on Bitcoin. So also on Ethereum, also we see on PPO green line is crossing about red line. So that's also good news. So let's do a quick side-by-side comparison and see the levels for today. Those who are new, these lines are only for day trading. Red lines are where we sell, green lines are where we buy. Right now, CPI came and a CPI index came in line with the expectation. Bitcoin is near sell zone, so I wouldn't be buying here. I'll wait for it to go back to buy zone. All right. And if you want to know more about this indicator, click the join button, and then where I post every hour these buy and sell zones, and that will be really beneficial for you. And on Ethereum, let's look at the levels. On Ethereum, again, it's in the sell zone right now. I'll wait for it to go back to buy zone. All right, so that's it for crypto. Let's move to our traditional market. So let's go with S&P 500 and let's go with SPX chart cycle study. And let me bring this in first. So you can see we are in this rising phase. So yesterday I said nothing changed because we were in the rising phase and we are still going higher. The rising phase is until 23rd of August, which is, let's say, next Friday. So again, we're looking for a high, like stable here. Maybe it's going to be going higher, or it can stabilize here, and then maybe we're looking for a low, higher low, and then keep going higher. Okay, that's what I'm thinking. So let's see how it goes. But again, this is all going as per my expectation. We are in the rising phase, so it's going higher. We bottomed here. Now we are making higher highs, higher lows, in my opinion. All right, so this is S&P 500. Let's do side-by-side comparison on live market. So this is live market right now. CPI data came, and it's now trying to pump. I won't say it's pump, but it's in line with expectations. So I think it's going to be a green day. That will be very good for the bulls as well. Again, yesterday had a massive rally, very, very good rally. It never stopped, came in the sell zone. So that's why I don't like to short in the sell zone. Or rather wait for stock to go back to the buy zone to buy again. All right, so right now you should be looking to take profits here. Maybe, I don't know, we'll see. Right now also S&P 500 front of massive resistance MES chart. These green red lines, also multiple EMA lines are here. So let's see if it can close this. If I go to SPY, which is the cash index, to see the gaps. Now it gapped up yesterday, but again, it doesn't need to fill. It can fill later on, but now there's this new all-time high gap. So we'll see how it goes. I think it's not going to go straight up, but from where we close to the all-time high gap, we are again 4% away. So we'll see how things shape up on S&P 500 later on. Let's look at Nasdaq, MNQ, same story. Again in near sell zone right now, and trying its best. Again, let's look at triple Qs. Again, gap up yesterday. Now there are multiple gaps. Nasdaq was the weakest out of all sectors. So Nasdaq has a lot of room to go. So if it pumps from here, the first gap is around 3.74 away, and second gap is around 7% away. All right. So, but again, it still can go higher. The main resistance is around here, 472 for Nasdaq, and again, it's a rising phase, looking for it to keep going higher for next for a week or so. Dow Jones is again was in the sell zone, now came to the neutral zone after CPI, now still in the middle, still can go higher, and it's looking bullish of all. Just this final resistance above 20 moving average white line. Let's see if it can cross. It's going to be good. DIA ETF again gap up yesterday. There's next another gap fill around 402. So I think it's heading for that gap fill from here. That gap fill is around 1% away. Russell 2000, IWM. You can see Russell is again in the sell zone. Massive pump, massive dump. People thought this is a bull flag, and they just dumped it. So that's pretty funny. But again, it's on this support 200 EMA SMA, and now it's going higher. If I look at cash index, IWM, again gap up. This gap is probably not filled, or probably it's a minor gap, so we can maybe ignore it. But the next gap is right. It's already opening above that gap fill. And then their next gap is here around 216. Okay, so you can keep a note on these. All right, so let's keep moving. Let's look at Hang Seng Index, China here. China was in the sell zone around 14 to 2:30 a.m. this morning, dumped now near neutral zone. China is also trying its best to form a bottom. I don't see any divergences building, so I won't be surprised if we go for another low, but we'll see how it goes. But again, in the neutral zone right now, big FANG stocks, Tesla near sell zone. There's a massive earnings gap. If 246, they will fill it at some point, so a lot of room for it to go higher. Also, it's below this white trend line, so again, they broke below that. Maybe it's going for a back test. We'll see. Apple. So Apple is very, very bullish above all moving averages. Very probably the bullish chart of all the FANG stocks. And if Apple is not going to break, market is not going to break, guys. So Apple has again this gap down, so it can still go higher to fill this gap at 234. But short term, it's near sell zone. So if you're in profits, look to hold your profits and exit. Amazon also near sell zone. Again, massive room to go up. You can see all these yellow lines are gaps to fill, so massive room to go higher. Netflix also, you can see right in front of resistance. If it close above this red line, 651, it can go really, really high, and it had a nice earning. So there's a lot of room for Netflix to go. Google was down pre-market. I don't know why. There was a gap fill, so probably they're looking to fill this gap. So once that gap fills, around 164. They're going to keep going higher. Again, a lot of room for Google to go higher. Meta, Facebook is very, very bullish above all moving averages. So let's see if it keeps going higher. The divergence will erase as well. So everything is looking good for Meta. Microsoft also has a lot of room to go. All this big FANG stock has a lot of room to go, guys. So just pick your stock. All these are good. You can buy what you like. Snowflex is another one, back testing. All these yellow lines are gaps to fill. NVDA is also helping with the pump. Again, it also has gaps around 126, gap around 122. Nice correction in a bull market and now going higher. AVGO is near sell zone. Again, a couple of gaps to fill to the upside. One other thing I wanted to show you on MES is I think there is a crossover which happened. You can see here the green line is above red line, PPO. So that's also good news for the bulls. You can see last time we had this crossover here and they just keep pumping it. All right. So just wanted to show you. Just remember. Let's look at commodities. Gold. Gold near highs, new highs. Keep triple top. I don't know if it cannot close above that. Let's say if gold can go higher, and it's just kind of consolidating. Looks like so. Still room to go higher, but in the short term, I will wait for it to go to green zone to buy again. Silver is a bit weaker than gold in the neutral zone. Again, wait for it to go back to green zone to buy. Copper is in the neutral zone. Uh, Again, wait for it to go to green zone to buy again. Crude oil after a massive pump a couple of days ago, just consolidating, back testing on this white line, and then it can pump. Touch the green line, day trading line, a couple of maybe minutes ago. Natural gas trying to recover. You can see nice, I think these gaps are filled, so maybe I can delete both top gap and bottom gap. You can see they filled it in the neutral zone right now. Palladium is also trying to consolidate above all moving averages, which is good news. Soybeans is in the buy zone. So soybeans, what a capitulation going on right now. Unbelievable. Yeah, divergence are erased. So very, very oversold. And sugar commodities are probably going to be a good trade next year, maybe when the inflation goes lower. Sorry, not inflation, that interest rate goes lower, I think. Wheat is also trying to form a bottom near buy zone right now here. Corn is also trying to form a bottom. And dollar is, let's see, dollar is also struggling. So rejection here will pump gold and Bitcoin, and again, it can go back to the support area around 101. Okay, guys, that's it for today. If there are any particular stocks you want me to review, put a comment and I will review it. VIX, again, this massive resistance, it broke out. This was probably the bottom. VIX has not seen this high. We have not seen this high VIX since here. March 20 crash, then again here February 18, then here around 12th of August in 2015. So I think this looks like a bottom in VIX, sorry, top in VIX and bottom in S&P 500. Again, it's back testing this trend line. So let's see if it's gonna back test and bounce again, or if it's gonna just keep going lower and market is gonna be crushed. Still, VIX is pretty high. It has a lot of room to go. It can go below 13, right? Yeah, so remember that. All right, guys, that's it for today. Hit the like button on your way out, and I will talk to you later. Bye.